C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are gonna talk about a few different things today. Oh man, I need to actually adjust. I think I should edit. Let's see, Crypto Talks. Yeah, that's fine. We can do that. That's okay. Let's see. We're gonna start off talking about Compound, and then we'll let the requests roll in as they do. I know that we do have a request from Cosmo Kala for TRB, so we will be talking about that probably right after this Compound USD analysis here, and then we'll just go from there. Chat's getting heated. Love to see it. I love to see people, collaborating, talking good things, and or talking shit to each other. Like it's all fun, man. It's I don't know. Hopefully no one's taking it personally. Whatever's going on. But if you guys want to join the Discord, I should put a link in the description. Maybe I don't think that's the right link anymore. Let me see. There we go. Yeah, it changes. Anyways, let me pull this up. I need to send it to the Discord. Make sure this volume is down. Yes, it is. And then, just a moment, people. Just a moment. I see I got one person in here. Whoever you are, hello. Good to see you. I'm going to... Oh, what's up, V Alpha? Thoughts on BTC mining stocks like CLSK? I do want to talk about CLSK today. We can talk about Mara as well. I've actually been meaning to make a video on on CleanSpark for a while, but it's just been going down, man. I think it's almost done going down, but it probably does go lower in short. But we'll go over that as well. I just want to put this in the wheelhouse real quick. Send a link. There we go. Oh no! Did I put it in the wrong one? Let me see. I know I'm turning sideways here. I don't think I put it in the wrong one. Okay, we're good. I know. Okay. Blow that up there. Alright, guys. We are live and well. I'm going to get the chat rolling. There we go. Boom. Cool. Alright, V Alpha. We'll talk about that right after Compound. I just want to get, a little day by day on this because Compound is one of those coins that I think is going to be a top performer in the coming cycle. It's got a lot of potential. It's definitely got a lot of potential. And right now it's coming down. We just had a very explosive day the other day, breaking out of this accumulation zone down here where we had a double bottom and we came out very bullishly. This is definitely a breakout. And now what are we doing? We are coming down to a previous area of resistance. Are we going to find support there? I would think so. We could go a little bit lower. At the moment we've gone as low as $43.85. But I've already bought some at these levels, and I'm probably going to buy more as it goes down. My lowest buy order at the moment is set at $43 just at this little wick here. Yeah, I'm planning on buying some more. I do think that with this break, man, with how significant this break looks, I would expect that this previous area of resistance is going to hold as support. So if we look at this, on a basic fib scale from low to high here, if I can get it. The 618 to 69, the golden area itself is a little bit lower. We could stand to drop that low and still be fine. To a certain degree, if we take this away, take away all these things, and you put a trend line on it like this, we were in this kind of downsloping trend. Could we come down and touch that trend line? Could that previous area of resistance be the newfound support that we're looking for down in the 618, 69 area? Sure, we could do that. But at the moment, being around this 382, being around an area of previous resistance in itself, I'm definitely buying here. This is one of those coins that I'm continuing to DCA in as it goes lower. Compound over Aave, yeah, V Alpha, I think so, man. Honestly, Aave has potential too. It does have potential, but I just don't know. I don't know if they're gonna have steam to go in this bull market. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. I definitely think it has a use case in crypto. Tokenomics unavailable, whatever. Aave is a legit project. We're not going to go into it too much. $949 million market cap. Let's call it $1 billion. Let's just call it $1 billion to be fair. For this thing to do a 100x, it would have to achieve a $100 billion market cap, which is a lot. That's no small feat. Most cryptos do not do that. For Compound being at number 109, having a $305 million market cap, for it to have a 100x, that'd be a $30 billion market cap. Still not a small feat, but it's a lot more achievable. 30 billion, 60 billion, even 90 billion is more achievable than a $100 billion market cap by the end of this bull cycle. You know, I don't think Aave has that potential to hit $100 billion. Therefore, from its current price, I don't think it's going to do 100x. Compound very much could do a 100x from its current price. Being at $44, I think this thing could even go all the way up to like $8,000, so a multi-100x by the end of this cycle. To wrap it up, I'm gonna go with that. On the top to bottom here, from all-time high to all-time lows, this very significant, very major fib would put us at a minimum, if we were to break above this high and see the minimum extension at the 1272, that put us at about $2,500. The 1618 sitting up there at about $8,886. And as we just did on the math, you know, a 100x here would turn it into a $30 billion market cap. That'd be like $45, $44, or I'm sorry, $450, right? $445, something like that. And that'd be 30 billion. If you were to bring it all the way up to, am I doing my math right? Or am I doing it wrong? Hold on. A 100x would not be, it would be 4,000. I'm sorry, $4,440 would be a 100x. So a 200x would be about 8,800. That's what it is. Yeah. So from the current price, I don't just think this thing is 100xable, but I think it's potentially 200xable, and that's why I really like Compound. There's a lot of bullish things going on right now. I don't think we're getting ready to break out of this weekly area of consolidation or accumulation, whatever you want to call it, just yet. But when we do, look for a move, man. Look for a move that looks just like this right here, right? Accumulation and then pop. Anyways, moving on from there, we're going to talk about, is it TRB? TBR? TRB for Mr. Cosmocala. TRB USD. Teller on Coinbase, maybe. I don't think I've ever heard of Teller. It's been around for a little bit, not a whole lot. So I mean, that's, you know, that's totally fine. But let's see how long. Oh, this chart's been around longer than that. Yeah, since 2020. TRB USD maybe on Binance. There we go. So Binance has the chart. That's nice. I love that. Yeah, okay, the USDT chart, not so much, but the USD. Okay, here we are. So TRB for Mr. Cosmocala. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining in. You know, just as like normal fashion with this thing, if you guys have any requests on things you want to see, we're going to talk about it. But right now we're talking about TRB. Just got done with Compound. After this, we're going to move on to, we're going to talk about CleanSpark and Mara for Mr. V Alpha. And then we can move on from there to some other things too. But looking at this, TRB, from its all-time high to its cycle low, right down here, which I think this is safe to say this is like some phase of accumulation. You've definitely broken out of this area. You are finding resistance at the 61869 area, the sweet spot. It's like your second pass into it. You had a week where you wicked and then you came up. This could be arguably the first pass even. You're having a very positive reaction with this area right now. Very, very strong reads on the RSI. The strongest read you've seen, arguably the strongest move you've seen. You know, just like Bitcoin Cash, you guys, I would expect that this has some kind of a relative pullback. Even whenever it was doing this move over here, where it went from at a low point here to a high point there, it did a, what is that, a 148x? I believe that's a 148x. It didn't do it in a straight line. It had pullbacks throughout the way, right? From this top to this bottom here, you had 75% pullbacks. You had, you know, from this top to this bottom here, you had 85% pullbacks. You know, like you definitely have volatility. So I do think you're overdue for some kind of move that would take you back down. You are above this purple line pretty significantly. From, let's do the relative low. Relative low to the relative high, you know, you're not even near the 236. The 382 is all the way back down here at the purple line. I think finding support somewhere around about $29, maybe even down to like $22 would make sense in my opinion. You could come all the way back down to the 618. That is possible. Let's just see. I don't like doing this normally, but let's just see. You found support in the sweet spot there. You found support on the 886. It looks like 786, a little bit lower. Deeper retracements. And then from this overall move right here, you know, relative low to relative high, you found support on the 0.5, yeah, and you kept going. That's kind of what I would expect for this kind of run right now. Low to high, 61869. You definitely like that area. It's the golden area, so I mean most charts like that. I stand by it. I think somewhere between $22 to $29 is where you're going from here. You're sitting at 47, and that's normal, man. That is a normal retracement for something like this. So don't get shocked out of it. I do think it goes lower from here. It could go higher. It is possible that it goes higher. Let's just see. This relative weekly low. You did go down to your 382, just kind of further validating the idea that you really might go down to like $29, and that's it. But 29 to 22 is the range I'd give it, man. Bearish divergence, severe bearish divergence. Volume is not dying off, which is, it doesn't mean that it has to keep going up. It can still turn down now. Maybe you get another move, you get some kind of double top up here or something. The daily RSI right now, though, it looks very bearish. But if you were to go any higher, that would just add more bearish divergence. So I don't know. 4 hour looks kind of weak, definitely weak. I don't think you're going to move up, honestly. I think you do. I think you're getting ready to move down right now. You're in this area right here. You're at the low points of it. Once you break down from here, you're probably going to break this overall ascending structure on this like ascending low trend line here. Just to show you what I'm looking at, like this thing here, you're right on it. So if you break this, along with breaking out of this kind of whole zone that you're consolidating at right now, which it looks like you're going to, the R side's very weak. I think that you're going to basically solidify the idea that this is the end of this move up, and you're going to start to move down. Again, moving down to 29, maybe down to $22, something like that would give you a range of about like a drop that's going to be like 39% to maybe like 53%, something like that. 53.5%, yeah, something like that would make sense to me. And yeah, so TRB down for now, and then I don't know, man, maybe some good things. There's not a whole lot of volume on the USD, but let's see TRB USDT on Binance. Yeah, there you go. There's more volume there, so nice to see. Let's see how much volume that is, right? On this week, you have 8.42 million TRBs, right? On that week, 8.42 million. What about the highest week over here? Was it this week? It was this week. You had 1. So you had 8 times the amount of volume on this breakout than you've seen on any week previously. You got the strongest readings on your RSI that you've ever seen in this chart's history. So I definitely think this is legit. It probably does have new all-time highs coming in at the end of this cycle. Maybe not even at the end of this cycle, but like at some point in the bull cycle, from high to low here. You could see this thing, you're at $47 right now. You could see this thing doing a 100x, no problem, I think. Probably more than that. Let's see, what's its market cap? TRB. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 118 million. If you were to do 100x on this thing, that'd be a $11.8 billion market cap. That's definitely achievable. 100x potential for sure, and if it drops down to lower prices, like I'm saying, it just becomes more, like a 200, 300 even x potential. If it was to do a 1000x, that would put it at 100 billion. I don't think it's going to do that, but it could do a multi-hundred-x in my opinion. And that, let's just see, from the current price. That's just from the current price too. A 100x would be way up here, man. That would be all the way up here, somewhere around like $4,800, and you're sitting at about $47 right now. Well, obviously, yeah, 100x would be 470. That would give you deeper extensions. Maybe you go up to your 2272. Maybe you see something like that, and you see like a 220x, something like that. Go up to see the price about $10,000, psychological level in itself, and it's right around the 2272. Yeah, I could see that happening. I really could see that, especially with the volume you're getting on this breakout. Again, for those of you who just joined, this volume isn't significant on the USD chart. It's only like 764,000 TRBs traded this month. Over here you had 4.25 million traded that month. But if you go to TRB USDT, still on Binance, but it's USDT pair, and you go on the weekly, this week, not this month, had 8.42 million. It's double what the highest month in volume has been for this thing, and it's happening on this breakout. So I do think it has some serious potential for sure. What other exchanges is it on? It's on Coinbase, cool. So Americans can buy it too. Nice. And KuCoin. It's on a lot of big exchanges, so I don't know if they just got dropped recently. No, they didn't. Kind of, but not really. Anyways, from here, you know, if I had to, with like closing thoughts on this thing, if I had to make a statement, I would say it probably comes down, has a normal retracement that takes it down anywhere from about like 39% to 54% away from its current price, somewhere around $29 to $22 from here, probably around this purple line even. And then from there, wouldn't you know it, that purple line's right around previous area of support here, previous area of resistance. From there up, up, and it won't move in a straight line. That's not how it does, right? If you look at it, TRB USD, it doesn't move in a straight line. Even whenever it looks like it does, it has 60% drawbacks, 50% drawbacks, 80% drawbacks. Like it's not going to move in a straight line. So take your profits with this thing. You know, DCA as it goes lower and stuff like that. Buy the dip scenarios are definitely in effect for this thing, but be aware it is a low cap, so it can drop. It can have very high swings and very high downswings as well, or very low downswings. Anyways, TRB, that's TRB for you. I don't know really too much about it other than the chart, but that's what I got. So looking at that, now we're going to talk about Clean Spark for Mr. V Alpha. Mr. Very Alpha. Looking at this thing, you guys, I'm very, very excited about Clean Spark. I really am. I'm sad. I am sad because I bought here. Or no, I bought here. I bought on this little bull trap here, this little like classic volatility just coming down. I feel like I should have seen it, but I did think that we were going to go higher. We did, you know, find a little bit of a breakout above the 618 here. We had a couple days close above it, so I was excited thinking that we would go to this 1272 or 1618 in a very short amount of time. But we've actually turned around and continued to go lower ever since. And I haven't made a video on this in quite some time. So let's just kind of go over the general details. Volume's decreasing as you're moving down. If volume was decreasing as you're moving up, that means things are going to turn around. Same thing whenever it's going down. You know, volume decreasing as price is decreasing generally means that you're coming to the end of this move down. But you know, it can go lower. Volume can, you know, it could have a spike. Oh, that's not what I was trying to do. Have a spike that's up to here and then come down and chill, and then come up to here and then come down and chill. Like it doesn't have to. It doesn't mean that we're near the end of the breakout now. But I just, at this rate of volume decay with the price moving down, I don't think this is sustainable, and that it will give way at some point. We do have this trend line here, which I have not even looked at because it's just so far away. But we do have this trend line here that we could find support on. If we bump this out to the weekly, and we take a fib from the low to the high, the 618 to the 69 area, it is just a little bit below that line. So maybe we don't find support on the 618. Maybe we find it somewhere in between, which is fine. That can happen. Maybe we do go down to the 618 itself and we break this line. That's okay. You know, I think the real line itself was probably here, and we've already broken it, honestly. But who knows? Who really knows? Like it's definitely broken out of its structure and it's going down at the moment. Looking at the daily RSI, it is weak, definitely weak. Strong bearish posturing for sure. We are showing bullish divergence at the moment, but all it takes is like a couple more days of closing lower like this to negate that. So I do think that we're going to see probably the last of this move being in this oversold zone. We're going to see some stronger moves to the downside, as we're getting a 9% day right now to the downside. Especially with this fake out of a day, man. We had a day yesterday where we were up, I mean, I guess from open, really, we were up, let's see. From like the previous day's close, we were up 13.65%. And then we reversed it to only be up 1%. And here we are down another 10% today. I do think we're getting toward the end of it. Being oversold like this is definitely a sign in itself. We're getting close to being oversold on the weekly, so it might take a little bit more time, but I do think we're coming toward the end of it. Somewhere around the 618 to the 69 is what I would be thinking. Somewhere around $2.75 to $3.06. Maybe we find a low a little bit higher than that, somewhere around like $3. Yeah, it just depends. It just depends. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on Clean Spark. At least for the short-term stuff. I do think that it's going to go up. I do think that it's going to have a miraculous bull rally with the rest of crypto. It is a low cap stock in itself. Volume is increasing here out of these like lows, all-time low, a lot of volume, big move up. Higher low here, still a big move up. And that's the thing, like it might seem bearish in the short term, but you zoom out, this thing, it looks kind of wonky back here, and it doesn't have a whole lot of history behind it, but it does look to me pretty bullish. Like I do think that, especially with all this volume coming in, I would think that we are going to get some major continuation to the upside. It has a market cap of, what is it? What is its market cap? Does it say? Does it tell me? No. Maybe somewhere. I'm just looking for something that tells me that. I don't know, man. It used to tell me on this thing, but I don't see it anymore. So anyways, we can just look it up. CLSK stock, yeah, sure. Market cap is 531 million. We've seen things like Marathon, for example, reach market caps of like 30-something billion before. So big things in store for this. It definitely could see a 100x or so. 100x from here would be at like $300. And I know that sounds crazy, but it definitely could see something like that by the end of the cycle. If not something, in my opinion, that would be above this high here, which would still be more than a 10x from the current price. So big things in store for sure. I'm just hoping that it hits prices above $15 by 2025. That's really what I'm hoping. What's going on, Robert? Good to see you, man. BSV, yeah, we can do that. We'll definitely talk about that, Smooth Operator. Good to see you. And then Marathon, real quick. We can talk about Marathon. I don't know why I did USD. Just to finish this off. So, similar kind of thing, right? You have this V bottom out. You've got a higher low here with like a lot of volume, higher low here with a lot of volume as well. Marathon's chart, I would say, does look a little bit more bullish, but it looks like it wants to come down a little bit too. Maybe, and right here, look at that, man. You came down to your 618 and you didn't quite touch it. That's okay. This is what I mean by you don't have to touch the 618. In very bullish situations, you actually would do something like this where you skim it. You don't quite touch it. You just like skim this area. It gets front ran. There's so much. There's a lot of eyes on this. A lot of like trading bots, algorithms, people, whatever, who are wanting to scoop this up. And in anticipation of it going lower to the golden zone, people front run it and they buy before, and then you get a very bullish reaction out of that. I do think we're coming down right now, probably a little bit lower on Marathon. Weekly RSI looks like it wants to go a little bit lower, bring the price with it. Daily RSI looks weak. Yeah, so I definitely think that there is some continuation to the downside, but you're probably, just like CleanSpark, you're probably at the toward the end of that. Look at that, your 618 to 69 area. It's right there at about 550 to 630. So somewhere in there, that would make sense. Previous area of support, even previous area of support here, previous area of resistance, that would all make sense. It could go to the 786, but one way or another, I would expect this low to hold. This low could give, and it would still be fine. But I'm kind of anticipating that this low holds as well. So you're probably just going to form a higher low off of this low, and then from there we can continue on going higher. If you look at this, actually, on a weekly, it's kind of unconventional. I don't know. Maybe not. I was going to call this an inverse head and shoulders, but I don't know. Maybe not. Like left shoulder here, weird head, and then right shoulder. I don't know. Maybe not. The volume profile is weird too, so maybe not. But a little bit of down, and the Marathon's probably going to do great things. If we take this high here to this bottom, you're finding support at your 0.5 right now. Found support on your 382. I would think that you'd see these extensions come into play probably by the end of this cycle. Something above like $800, maybe even all the way up to $6,400. Is that even possible? Is that even possible? Mara stock. Market cap of 1.27 billion as of now. 1.27 billion. A 100x would be 120 billion, right? And a 100x would look like this. A 100x would be all the way up to your right up to your 1272. So you could see something like that, man. You really could by the end of this bull cycle. I think Marathon's deserving of that. It's one of the bigger publicly sold, available? I don't know. One of the bigger stocks in the crypto mining industry. So definitely big things in store. Look at that volume profile, man. Just there's interest in this thing going up for sure. But anyways, let's see here. I think that's all I got for that there. We're going to talk about BSV for my man, the Smooth Operator himself. We're going to talk about it now. I keep getting my phone. It keeps on saying stuff. Let me see. I don't know, maybe it's the Discord, maybe it's other Discords, but looking at it, BSV, Binance Smart Chain, right? Or is it Bitcoin SV? Bitcoin SV, BSV, that's what it is, man. It's been a while since I've even thought about Bitcoin. What is it? Satoshi's Vision, right? Satoshi's Vision. Craig Wright. Yeah, man, it's been a while since I thought about this. Let's see. Let's look at this thing. Hasn't done a whole lot. I think, kind of like Bitcoin Cash. I'm not comparing it to Bitcoin Cash. What's going on, RA Production? I would never even dare to compare it to Bitcoin Cash from a fundamental level, but from kind of, I guess maybe it is from a fundamental level. They have a similarity in the sense that a lot of people think ill of these coins, and they think that they're scams. And that in itself, I think Craig Wright is a scammer, but maybe he doesn't want to see his baby BSV go to zero. So I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people like hating on this thing might give it the potential it needs for it to go up. Because it's the things that everyone's aware of. Like, everyone knows what this coin is if you've been in crypto. Everyone knows about it, but they don't, like me, they haven't looked at it in quite some time. It'll take off without you, form a miraculous move, make you want to buy it because you're like, oh man, maybe it is legit. And then that's when it sells, and that's when it dupes you. But I don't know. I think that BSV might do well. Let's see if there's something. Is there a better... Where's the crypto? I don't know, man. Is this the same? $36, and then on KuCoin it is $36. It just looks weird on KuCoin, so we're going to use the crypto one, no volume. Let's just see here. It's been going down for most of its existence, right? It had a couple big swings, big wonky looking swings. Came down and found support at your 1414, finding resistance at your previous all-time low, finding a little bit of resistance there, but finding support on the 1272. I think this thing's bottomed out. It probably goes higher from here. Probably goes somewhere around, $100 to $120. I don't know if it does it by the end of the month. Maybe it does. It's capable. It's definitely capable of moving up like that. What's it ranking at now? BSV, man. Never thought I'd be talking about BSV. Wow, it's still up there, huh? Still up at 53. $700 million. I mean, the potential for this thing to see a 100x is there. I don't think it's going to achieve that personally. I really don't think that that's going to happen. But let's just see. A 100x in price would put you at new all-time highs, all the way up, around like 30. Come on, a little bit more. I can't really get it there. Something like that, yeah, around $3,500 from an all-time high to an all-time low perspective. If I can get it, there we go. Your 1618's right there, man. So it would make sense for a couple different reasons. That's your 100x. That's your 1618 from the current price. It could happen. It could really happen just because nobody expects it to happen. And that market cap, a 100x from here, would be still a high market cap, but $70 billion is achievable. I don't believe that's going to happen personally, but maybe that's exactly why it's going to happen, because I'm sure a lot of people don't believe that's going to happen. It doesn't. It is doing a little bit of different stuff than it's been doing since April of 2021. It just went straight down for a while, and it is moving a little bit sideways. Now, I do think that this is the low. I think it's getting ready to move up, and after this kind of movement without having any kind of significant retracement back, I think you're going to see a much bigger move like this. You might see moves like this, but this again, this was in like the beginning of the bull market, which we're kind of in now. So yeah, I don't know. You can see very spectacular moves. 100% weeks for sure could happen with this thing. How does Gala Games look? We'll talk about Gala or Gala, whatever it is. Mr. Lellis, we'll talk about that. But yeah, BSV looks good on the weekly. On the daily, looks like it wants to cool off, right? You had a nice move up, very nice rally yesterday. Very nice pop, right? Kind of like Compound. You had this accumulation area, and you just popped right up. This is an ascending triangle of sorts, right? You can see here. Even had a fake out in it, but like this was like a fake breakout. But there, and then here, something like that. That's your ascending triangle. You had a very nice break. I wonder if you hit the measure move. You probably broke the measure move even. Yeah, you definitely went right through that. That's for sure. But you're coming down now. I wonder how much volume. This is where, I don't like the crypto one because it doesn't have volume. KuCoin, should we use KuCoin? It's not on any big exchanges. I mean, I don't see it getting listed on big exchanges personally. But if it were to, that would be a real cause of a pump for sure. Is it on Robinhood? Anybody know? Smooth Operator, do you know, is it on Robinhood? Is BSV on Robinhood? Because if it's on Robinhood, that's a pretty big exchange in itself. But maybe not a lot of liquidity on Robinhood. Yeah, it's coming out of its overbought zone though with today. Getting up in it one day and then coming back like this the next day, that would, in my opinion, promote some downside. Probably come back down to this $33, $34 area. You're sitting at $36 right now from low to high. You might even go, yeah, to like $32, something like that in this like golden area. Previous area of resistance becomes support. That would make sense, you know. Something that's as volatile as this, like it having a move that goes up like this one day and then just shoots back down the next, that doesn't concern me because it's done that, right? It's just like gone up and down, like straight up, and then straight down, you know. So like it's just the nature of this thing. I'm not investing in this. I wouldn't recommend that anybody invest in it. This is, in my opinion, Craig Wright is fake Toshi Nakamoto, and he just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hater. I have no idea, but I personally don't see the point in this coin. I think it's another wannabe. You know, that's all it is. It's just another wannabe Bitcoin, and those coins, they all have the same kind of what's the name? What's the thing I'm thinking of? They have the same end game, which is just down, 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 down. Most traded on MEXC. Oh, really? It's not, but I've seen it on Bybit. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Hell yeah. For some reason, I thought it was on Robinhood, but maybe I'm wrong. You know, if you say it's not, I believe you. But let's see. We're gonna talk about moving on from this. You know, I guess if I had to just like wrap it up with BSV, probably down $32 to $33, something like that. Looks like it wants to start changing its tactics and start moving upwards. Does it have 100x potential? Sure. Yeah, I think it does. That'd put it at $3,600. If not, I do think that it has even the potential to break its previous all-time highs. I really do. And the main reason that I think that is because everybody hates this coin. Like almost everybody in crypto hates this coin. So and they don't like Craig Wright. So just because of that infamy, knowing how crypto works, speaking from personal experience here, probably good things. Probably really good things for this coin in the coming bull market. But the high that it puts in this next cycle might be its all-time high forevermore. So get in and get out is really all I have to say. If you want to trade this thing, it's great to trade, man. Big swings up, it makes it obvious to sell, right? Like even if you sold here, like even if you sold right here, as long as you walk away, you have this week right here that pumped up 68%. You sold at the top right there or somewhere along the way. Oh no, you missed all this, but guess what? It came back down lower than where you would have sold, so you would have had another chance to still like play the game with this thing. So it's very forgiving. Just don't get FOMO if it goes up because it will come down, and don't get upset if it goes down because it will come up. You know, and I do think right now it's on its way up. I think that's the low. I don't think it's going to go lower. But it could. It's possible. But I don't know. I think it's working its way up right now. It's not going to happen in a day. But over the cycle, I do think you're going to achieve new all-time highs. So again, the 1618 from the current price would be a 100% or a 100x. The 1272 I think is a little bit more likely, somewhere around like $1,200. That would make more sense to me, but who knows, man? With things like this, the things that don't make sense are normally what happens. So again, just because of all the hate that this thing gets, I would say that it's probably going to do well, honestly. Let's see here. So that's BSV for us. We're going to talk about Gala Games from Mr. Robert Lellis here. Gala. Man, I want to get into this thing. I forgot about it. I hope it didn't do anything without me. No, good. It's gone down a little bit. Okay, cool. Let's see. Was I saying that it was going to go lower? Or was I saying in my last video? I forget. Did I say it was going to hold its all-time low? I forget what I said it was going to do. Let's look it up. I'm curious. Your videos. Look it up. Gala Games, price prediction and analysis. I'm going to mute this, so just mind it real quick. Let me see. See if I can get it. Oh, it's already muted. Okay, cool. What did I say? Okay, I was talking about it going lower. Cool. Cool. What price is that at? It's at like just below a cent, right around a cent. Wouldn't you know it? It didn't go quite as low as I was thinking, but it definitely went a little bit. Let me delete all these things. There we go. It did go lower. That might be its low right there. That might be its low, Mr. Lellis. That very well could be. It could go lower. Let's see. Before I start saying things that I'm going to take back, let's just see. Because right now you are testing a previous area of support. If you find resistance on it here, that could mark the idea that you do go lower. Right? From your low here to your high. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I do think you go lower. I do, unfortunately, or fortunately, if you want to get in on this thing cheaper. For Gala Games, I do think that it's going to go somewhere around that 1 cent line, that 1272. That would make sense to me. You did have this kind of false hope, right, that you were going to have a double bottom here, but you broke below it, you went below it. Now you're finding potentially resistance at this area. The fact that it's up this week while everything else looks like it's coming down should be a forewarning that things might start turning bearish soon. We are at the overbought zone right now, an area that we've rejected, We found resistance on it before, done something like this, stuff like this. We're in this area where, you know, false hopes get realized and turn into real despair. Volume is not increasing. It's increasing for what it's been, but it's still very lackluster volume. And this is on Kraken, so it's a pretty big exchange, big enough. I do think you go lower, man. I do. I think what you're doing right now is you're testing a previous area of support for resistance, and then that'll send you lower. You might actually, with this next low in the RSI, form a higher low, get some bullish divergence formed with this lower low coming in, and then from there we can talk about moving up. But I think it goes lower. I definitely have high hopes for Gala Games, whatever it is. Let's see if we go type in GALA here, number 84, 427 million. I hear a lot of good things about this coin, man. Let's look at its market cap. So its market cap is like this since, what is it? And is it? Let's see. Max supply is that. Real quick. I'm sorry. Okay. It's been around since when? Before then, let's go GALA USD. Maybe on crypto it'll tell us. 2021, that's like the oldest that we can get on this chart, but that's okay. You know, this chart's been going down while the market cap in itself has been going up. But to be fair, this is, again, it's been going down really since 2021, which this has been going down since 2021. So it does line up. I love to see that. You know, I don't like to see things that the price is going down and the market cap is going up, because that just means that you're making money on this thing through the network. You're not making it like buying here, which is fine. That's totally fine. It doesn't mean it's a scam. It just means it's not going to be attractive to investors like me. You do have higher lows in your market cap coming out while having lower lows in your price, so there definitely is some Gala being inflated into the market and people are selling, but that's okay. Whatever, you know, this thing could be undervalued right now. Being at 427 million does leave it room to do a 100x. That'd be a $42 billion market cap. It definitely could do that. In market cap, it could do that. If this stuff keeps releasing, man, I don't know. Does anybody know about the tokenomics on Gala Games? Oh, good. It tells us here. Let's see. Oh, that's right. That's why I like this thing. So they're not doing the halving anymore, right? That's what somebody told me. I want to look at the website itself, man. Let's take a second and just look at this. Gala Games. Check it out. No problem, Robert. No problem. Appreciate all you guys. I know there's only 3 of you now. There were like 8 earlier. Appreciate everybody for sticking around. Let's see. Gala Games. Maybe I tried to find the tokenomics and I couldn't on this. Is that what it is? No. I like this, man. This looks pretty legit. Store, trending games, recent drops, top sellers. I wish it would tell me the tokenomics. I do wish I could figure that out. Gala Games white paper. Yeah, I know about the nodes. There's nothing. I don't know. Take a second here. How's everybody doing today? Whoever's here, the last like 2 of you here. I made it in late. I made it in late to bust mowing. To bust mowing? What are you talking about, Fonzie? Did you just bust ass mowing? Is that what you're doing? You mowed really fast to get here? It's good to see you, by the way. Thank you for making it late or on time, whatever, man. Busy. Oh, you were busy mowing. Yeah, it's that time of year, man. On the bright side, it's hopefully getting cooler. You're busy mowing. You're busting ass mowing. Same thing, Making blockchain games. Actually, I want to play fun first. Owned by players, community rules, powered by the people. All sounds really good, but like will things come to fruition? That's the real most expensive NFT. It doesn't say it's tokenomics. I think I tried to figure that out. So somebody told me that they're not doing their halving anymore. Whatever, I would like to see more on its tokenomics. This is one of those that I'm probably going to give the benefit of the doubt to, which I don't normally do, but with this one, man, I do think that it has strong potential. I wish it was more transparent about its tokenomics, honestly. This is what it says on CoinGecko, but somebody told me that they're not doing this halving schedule anymore. So if that's true, that makes me sad, because what are they going to do with this max supply? You know what I mean? Because at that rate, if it was going to be cut in half every year, this max supply is not going to be diluted for another multiple lifetimes. My grandkids might not even see the last coin be minted. When I have grandkids, I don't have them now, but man, crazy. I don't know what to think. Let's go back to the charts and do some TA and stop scratching our heads here. Welcome in, everybody, whoever the new people are. Good to see you. If you have any requests on coins or stocks that you want to look at, just let me know. Happy to do it. Let's see, maybe from this low to this high, actually. Again, that 1272 here on crypto, it lines up with that 1 cent area. I do think it goes lower. You could go higher right now. I know that I was saying on the daily that you are in an area that you found resistance before on your RSI, but you could, just like this, go into your overbought zone a little bit, go into it a little bit more, have a nice kind of run up to your purple line, right? And that'd be up to the 786. Maybe you do that. Maybe you run to the 886, something like that. As the days come on, this line will drop. But maybe you move up to about 1.8 cents, maybe even all the way up to 2 cents itself. But at some point or another, I think you're going to turn around and descend to your final low, which is going to be right around 1 cent, just below 1 cent is what I'm thinking, actually. You could go all the way down here, but I'm more in the boat of thinking that this is what's going to happen, personally. And then from there, guys, Gala being worth $400-something million, it has a lot of potential to do a 100x, right? From its current price. If it was to go down to a cent, though, just below a cent, come on, something like that, whatever, and go to new all-time highs, already to its all-time highs, that is that's an 83x, almost an 84x. So going above there would just be miraculous, man. From top to bottom, where the presumed bottom would be if it was at that 1272 from this overall little extension here, right? If I draw it from low to high, your 1272, it's right there. It's right in line with that, right? So, you could stop literally at this 1272, do a 271x from the low, which from the current price would be 170x still. So that's very immense gains. Is it possible? Is it capable of doing that? Absolutely. Those kind of market cap valuations are definitely possible. But that's another thing too. I am basing it off of the market cap valuation. This market cap could 100x, though the price itself might not, because if more of these coins are being distributed, let's say all these coins, and it wouldn't be like this, but if all these coins got diluted into the market right now, it goes from being a 100xable coin, a 160xable coin from its current price. Where is it, right? 170xable coin to maybe being a 80x coin or an 85x coin, which is still great. But that could, instead of seeing new all-time highs, or I guess we would see new all-time highs with that, but that might interfere with some of this stuff, going up to the 1272 or not. But we'll see. I don't think a lot of these coins are going to be released throughout this bull cycle. I don't think that's how it works, but I wish it was a little bit more transparent with its tokenomics, because all I have is what CoinGecko's telling me, and somebody told me that they got rid of this each year halving schedule. So I don't know enough about it. I'm still trying to learn, but I do think that this is going to be a top performer in the coming cycle. I think it's going to do really well. It's going to maintain its place in the top 100 and probably see itself in the top 20 or even at least in like the top 30 by the end of the bull cycle. Something great for this thing for sure. Let's see. Never get any notifications from you for YouTube, your lives, or I would be here more. I appreciate that, RA Production. Yeah, man, you know, that's what the Discord's for, I guess, because then, you know, I can like post some stuff in the Discord too. I've been bad about posting my videos in the Discord, but and on X. I need to post them on both, but that's what that's kind of for. You know, I follow myself on YouTube too, and I don't get notified on my own channel even about that. Like I have a burner channel. You know, I have subscribed to myself just to like check things and make sure that I can see things and everything. And I've hit the notification button, I've hit the bell, and nothing. I don't, you know, I've started to get notifications like here and there, but sometimes I don't. So I don't know what's up with that. YouTube is not all that, but whatever. Whatever. Oh man, let's talk about Bluzell. BLZ USD on Coinbase here. Here we are, sitting below 15 cents. Love to see it. Just at 15 cents basically. Also no lawsuits and infighting in Gala management. Oh really? Oh really? Are there? That's interesting, Mr. Lellis. That is interesting. So there's infighting and lawsuits for Gala Games right now, is what Robert Lellis is telling me. See, this is stuff I don't know how you know about that. Where do you find this information, Robert Lellis? I mean, I'm sure I could find it if I Googled it, but is there like a specific, do you use the website and you go, like, they probably don't talk about that on the website. I don't know. Gala Games news. Not new, news. The sandbox and Everlodge, perfect diversification strategy. I don't know. I don't know, man. Hey, but you know what? In crypto, also lawsuits tend to be a good thing. That just makes me a little bit more bullish on it. It might be the reason for the price going down now, but you know, XRP had a lawsuit, and if you bought during the time that news got dropped, you would have done a really good thing for yourself. You know, that's just, I don't know, kind of my thoughts on that. But let's see. Also, nothing else. Okay, cool. So Bluzell, you guys. Bluzell is one that I'm very, very excited about. It's one of the more, in my opinion, legitimate coins that genuinely has like 1,000x potential. I know that sounds crazy. You might not understand what I just said, but 1,000x potential. You take $100 and turn it into $100,000. That's Bluzell. Like that genuinely could happen with Bluzell. $63 million market cap. A 10x would be 630. A 100x would be 6.3 billion, and a 1,000x would be $63 billion. Is that an achievable market cap, especially toward the end of the bull cycle where, you know, everything's just popping off? Absolutely. A 63 billion. We've seen plenty of coins hit a $63 billion market cap. It's no small feat to achieve. But it's definitely 1,000xable. And the thing is, man, I've been saying it was 1,000xable since it was down at 10 cents. Here we are sitting at 15 cents, still 1,000xable. So I do think that it goes lower from here. I do think that it goes a little bit lower. We'll talk about that. But the reason I'm so excited about this thing is because, you guys, Bluzell has been around. It's been around longer than 2021. It's been around, let's see, BLZ USD. Is it on Binance? Is that yeah, that's the longest chart. It's like an OG coin. Like, truly. It's been around since 2018. And it might have even been around before, and this is whenever it got released on Binance. Maybe it got released, maybe it came about the month before, but I'm sure that people have been working on it since 2017, or if not, at least the beginning of 2018. But overall, lower highs, sure, but higher lows. Bluzell has done something that most cryptos have not done, especially most cryptos that are in its market cap level, like higher or lower even, where it's had multiple bear cycles and it's maintained higher lows. Most cryptos haven't done that. Most cryptos have not done that. You know, yes, it did have lower highs, but being in multiple bear cycles, still having higher lows is pretty significant in my opinion. And the volume doesn't reflect that significance on this Binance USD chart, but if we go to BLZ USDT, I talk about this like every single time, the volume does reflect that, right? You're seeing a very significant bounce. It doesn't have as much historical data, that's why I'm not talking about it, but the volume there, if we look at it just for reference sake, that was basically 8 billion Blue Zell traded that month. BLZ USD on Binance, the highest month over here, 8 billion versus 1.3 billion. The most volume that we've seen for Blue Zell coming in is coming out of this low and then coming out of this low here. More volume here than there. So I do think that this thing has very strong potential, very high potential in it in the coming bull cycle. Let's see. What are your thoughts on Avalanche? We'll talk about Avalanche. What's going on, Average Jane? Good to see you. Thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate you. I know I haven't done a live in a long time, but it's just, life's been busy, man. It's hard sometimes to do that, but it just worked out today. So we're doing it, man. We're doing it well. RA Productions, we're going to talk about Avalanche right after this, man. But looking at this here from low to high, we didn't quite reach that 618, which I forget which coin I was talking about earlier. It might have been TBR. Was it TBR? Or was it... I forget which coin it was, where it went to its 618, but it didn't quite get there. It actually turned around from there. Maybe it was BSV. I don't remember. Or maybe, no, it might have been Mara. It might have been Marathon, actually, I think. Where, again, you don't have to hit your 618. You really don't have to. I think it was Mara. In fact, finding support above it like this can be even more bullish than actually bouncing off your 618, because that means that there's so much buying pressure, people won't let it go down that low. They're anticipating buying down here, but there's just so much buying pressure that it can't. And I think that we see that, it doesn't show the volume on this chart, but on the USDT chart, the immense volume that you got, I think it validates the idea that this is the low. You got a double bottom here, one bottom there, double bottom, and you had this really nice breakout of this descending trend here. I think that it's on for Blue Zell. It's definitely going to go. It's going to go to new all-time highs, I think, by the end of this cycle. You don't do stuff like this, man. I mean, it would be really cruel of you, Blue Zell, to go up like this and then not proceed with it. But to be fair here, from top to bottom, you did the same kind of thing that I was just talking about with the 618 being very bullish. This is kind of bearish, where you front run it, but to the selling side. So maybe there are a lot of people paying attention to the 618, and they are front running that. So keep that in mind going forward for anything with Blue Zell. But I do think, I am surprised that it didn't hit that 618. That's okay though. I do think it goes down from here. Enough beating around the bush. I think that we've broken out of this ascending kind of channel that we were in. If we were to take this here from low here to low there, and kind of have our channel like that, maybe it's more like this. You can see we had support on this green line right here, resistance on the heart line, resistance on this line, resistance here. We broke through it, we actually back tested it, and now we're going lower. So I do think that it goes lower. The RSI itself looks like it's rolling over. We had some really strong readings for a little bit there, but now we're below the 50. We actually came up and rejected the 50, and we're going lower. All this, just this look right here, man, with the RSI in combination, I think is bearish. Pair that with the fact that we were moving up with decreasing volume as we're moving up. You can look across not just this exchange, but any exchange. It has the same story. And that generally results in things going back to where they started. Here's where the volume ended right here. I very much would think that the possibility, even the likelihood of going down to this area, about 47% away from here, is possible. And I wanted to start on a bullish note because I really am excited with Blue Zell, but don't pull the trigger too early. It definitely has the potential to come back lower. And remember that with the 618, right, it likes to front run that. So if we were to take from bottom to top here, look at the 618 coming in line with the bottom of this area, maybe we don't actually hit that. Maybe we do find support somewhere around 8 cents, 9 cents, something like that. That is possible. We could go lower. It's possible that we could go lower, but with how this thing's acting, I actually would kind of expect that we do find a low somewhere above this 618, somewhere above 8 cents probably, but below 10 cents is what I'm thinking. So for Blue Zell, a little bit of downside coming. It's probably going to be very fast and loud, but from there, guys, great things for sure. I think this thing can reach a price of $100. Like literally, I think it can reach a price of $100. by the end of this cycle. If not $100, at least tens of dollars. But the 1618 up here is at the $16 level. From the current price, that would give us about a 100x from the current price, which I think it's not going to stop there, man. Probably don't go to the 2272. Probably not, because a 1000x would be here. I mean, it's possible. It could. The thing is, man, with this coin, so that, just to put it in perspective, looking at this, it's a lot of numbers, but that's 2,665x. That's a 2,665x right there. Almost a 2,666x. That would put Blue Zell at like $130 billion or like $150 billion in market cap valuation. That's very high, but that is an achievable market cap still, especially for OG coins, and this thing's in gaming and stuff like that. It has a lot of volume, a lot of attention on it right now. And at the same time, it doesn't have a lot of attention. I feel like you don't hear too many people talking about it on major channels, but I'm not saying, I very much don't believe, honestly, that it's going to see this kind of movement. It is all the way up at the 2272 at $400 there, but it's possible. It's not some pie in the sky theory. It genuinely could happen. So very, very high potential for this thing. If it doesn't do a 2600x, a 1000x, it could at least do a multi-100x or a 100x. I think it has very, very good potential in the coming bull market, and I really, really, really do love how the volume's been performing with it. Right from this low here, very nice volume taking you out of it. From this low here, BLZ, USDT, even more volume here than you had on the previous low, which isn't on this chart, but you can look at it yourself. Compare the volume. This volume here is bigger. Anyways, that's all I got for Blue Zell. Same old, same old. Probably goes down from here, probably around anywhere from like 10 cents to like 8 cents, somewhere in there. We will talk about Doge, Mr. Cookie. We definitely will. But right now, Avalanche for RA Productions, yeah. Let's see here. I think I said RA Reduction. I meant production. Maybe I said production, but we're going to talk about Avalanche, Ave, or AVAX. AVAX. USDT. Weekly. Is this the most? AVAX. USD. Okay, it's got more on here. Just a little bit more, though. Not like a whole lot. AVAX. Coinbase. Not as much. What about on crypto? Yeah, okay, so we'll just use AVAX USD on Binance, maybe even the USDT. AVAX USDT. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's totally fine. Looking at this here on the weekly RSI looks weak. Maybe you go up a little bit. Maybe you go, maybe this move up isn't done just yet, but you could be continuing right now your final descent down. It's no surprise. I think my last video that I made about this, I was saying that you'd break through these lows here. I don't remember what my last video on Aave was, but I think I did say that. But if we're looking at this here, maybe this low to this high, yeah, bounced right off the 1272, like literally tipped it. Maybe you do go up a little bit more. You're at $9.33. Maybe move up to $10.50, maybe even $11.50, something like that. But then from there, probably go lower, right? In your weekly RSI, you probably, if you go higher, you kind of have like a high that goes in line with this this trend here, something like that. You could go up a little bit higher, or maybe it's even, I don't know. Maybe it's even in line with this, just a little bit higher. You could even wick above it and have this be out of it for a part of the week, but then close to where you are at that white line in itself. But it does leave room to go higher. This fib even gives room, I would say, to go higher as well, from low to high. But I would think you go lower to your 1618. This 1618 comes in line with this previous area of resistance, even a little bit of support over here. It would make sense to me. I don't know, man. I don't know what my thoughts on it are as far as like if it's going to do well in the coming cycle. It might. I kind of feel like AVAX, I don't know, man. There's a lot of coins like AVAX, Solana, eGold, Elrond, DOT, that were like new coins last year. Like out of all those coins, the odds of one of them still being relevant in this cycle, I think, is better than more than one of them being relevant in this cycle. Definitely not all of them. So Which one's going to lose its relevance? I don't think Solana's going to lose its relevance. I think DOT is starting to lose its relevance. AVAX is starting to lose its relevance. E-Gold, Elrond, like I don't know. Like I hear good things about all of them, but you can have good things, you can have partnerships, guys, you can do all these things, and if it doesn't gain popularity, if the marketing isn't done properly, it can just not matter at all. I've seen coins that partner up with IBM. Like IBM's a really big company, and they still fizzle out into nothing. Just because you have partnerships with big companies doesn't mean anything necessarily, right? Let's see. Lower volume as you're moving down. Nice to see. That does mean, you probably are going to reverse this at some point. You move down, you're kind of accumulating, consolidating, but to the downside, I bet you do come up at some point. The question really at hand is, does it achieve new all-time highs? I think that's the real question. On the daily look, yeah, I think you could go a little bit higher. Again, this does stand to make me believe that you do go a little bit higher. But you have a previous area of support here. You could find resistance there. You might even find resistance somewhere around this wick here, previous area of resistance there. So I stand by that. I think somewhere above $10 but below $11.30, something like that is where you'll go. And then from there, turn around and go lower. Will it go higher? Will it go higher? Is it capable? Number 23. Held on to your market cap. He didn't sell out. That much is impressive, I gotta say. Held on to its market cap for sure. $3.3 billion. Maybe it does remain relevant. Who knows? Let's see. If it were to go, let's say it goes to like this high right here. Something like that. The 1272 would be at 336. The 1618 would be just below $1,000. And that kind of price movement, $9.34 to that would, I don't think you're going to see a 1618 extension, because that in itself would be a 100x move. That put you at like $300 billion, and I don't think you're going to get that, man. Not from the current price, or not even if you go lower. I don't think a 300x or a 100x is in store. However, I don't know, man. That's even high. 1272 being at about $100 billion in market cap valuation. It's kind of high. Max supply, circulating supply. What are the tokenomics for AVAX? What are they? Staking. It's a POS is what it is. Okay. Got some for airdrops, private sales. Only a little bit. I don't know. 3.5, 5, 8.5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15%, 20, 24. So like 34, 35% of all these tokens are basically to people who are like directly involved with the production of this thing, like the making of it. 50% of it is left to staking. I like to see that. I do like to see that, which means, likely you're not going to get a whole bunch of coins unlocked all at once and then this thing just rug pulls. I don't know enough about Avalanche. I know a little bit about it, but honestly, guys, I don't know, man. I'm kind of hesitant to say that it'll even see this 1272, because that would be at $100 billion. From its current price up there, that'd be a $100 billion market cap. I don't think it deserves that. I don't think it's deserving of that. I personally don't. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but I personally don't see that happening. So I'm very skeptical to say if this thing will achieve new all-time highs. If it does, up here is what we're thinking, and that's about a 34x. Okay, 34x. I do not think this is going to happen. I don't think you're going to get a one. This is not a 100xable coin, not in my opinion. More likely than not, you probably do like a 10x. Maybe you do a 20-something x. I'm very skeptical in believing that you even see this 1272 though. So I can be wrong. I've been wrong before. It's just such a new coin. There's not a lot of interest in it right now. There's a lot of talk about all these other things, and like there's yet to be some new coins that are going to be released for this next bull cycle. That are going to be the next hot topic. They're going to be like Avalanche, but better. Like there's going to be all these things, and just It has held on to its market cap for quite a while, which is nice to see, but I'm skeptical in believing that this thing has great things in store for it for its bull market. I think that it does go up in its bull market, up higher than it is now. Again, a 10 to a 30x is completely possible, but from the current price. But ultimately, I'm not too excited about it, honestly. That's what I got for AVAX. I can be wrong. Sorry if I am wrong, but that's just my thoughts on it. I'm personally not interested in AVAX at all. We're gonna talk about Doge now for the chocolate cookie himself. Doge USD. We'll do it on Binance, sure. Binance, because we're gonna talk about like more relative stuff. I don't know. Maybe we can start it off on Bittrex. Doge USD on Bittrex. Get some longer term stuff going. So, ignore the volume. Who cares? This is Bittrex, very small exchange in itself. I don't like Bittrex, man. I got a bone to pick with Bittrex, but anyways, I think they're reliable. I think they're they are a legitimate exchange. I had a hard time using them myself, but that's okay. You have these phases with Dogecoin, right? Where you accumulate and then you move up. You accumulate and then you move up. This accumulation phase, to me, like it doesn't, like most cryptos. Most cryptos kind of like inch their way up and they're volatile on their way up, and then like spike and then boom, like you have your whatever. With Dogecoin, it's more like I'm just gonna be boring and then take off, right? I'm just gonna be a little bit boring and then bam, boring and then bam, right? So could this cycle be different? Could it be doing something different than like what its personality has dictated throughout its entire existence? Maybe. I don't personally expect that. I don't bank on stuff like that. I would think that it kind of does what it has been doing, and it would make sense. A lot of people are aware of Dogecoin. People have been aware of it for a while, but people who haven't even been in crypto for that long are aware of Dogecoin. There's a lot of people who think they're just going to make a shit ton of money with Dogecoin. It did it last cycle. Elon Musk supports it. It's got to be a good thing. Well, the thing is, guys, is like it can be a good thing and still underperform the first half of the market and then outperform the second half by a long shot, and that's what it's done. I want to take this moment to go into the Bitcoin halving dates, Bitcoin halving dates, all of them. The first one was in November 28 of 2012, basically December, right? 28 of 2012. Let's see. So 2012, well, we don't have it there, do we? So that might actually be irrelevant. I didn't even think about that. The second one was in July 9th, 2016. So in July of 2016, let's see, all the way over here. So here it was in July of 2016. It didn't move up. It didn't really start to move up until 8 months after the halving, right? 8 months afterwards. And it didn't find its top until 18 months afterwards. But we're going to say 8 months is when it started to move, okay? The next halving date that occurred was on May 11th of 2020. May 11th, 2020. So here we are, May 2020 right there. We didn't really start to move up for Dogecoin again until about this month, 6 months afterwards. So half a year, almost 3/4 of a year, something like that. The halving for Bitcoin is in April. It's projected to be in April of 2024, right? So 6 months from then would be October of next year. It would be a whole year out from now. 8 months would be December, okay? Could it be a little bit less time? Sure. Could it be a little bit more time? Sure. But basically what I'm saying is it could be, let's say it's 4 months. Okay? That would still be August of next year until Dogecoin really starts doing things. Do you guys think that most crypto is going to be chilling until August next year? I mean, I don't know. Maybe most crypto will be chilling, but I think things are going to be working their way up. They're not going to be at the same levels this time next year. They're definitely going to be up higher. But Dogecoin might not be, and that's kind of back to this idea that I'm trying to form in your heads, which is that a lot of people are expecting this thing to do well, and it might inevitably do well. I think it does do well, but it might bore people out of it. That's kind of how it does this, right? And then how it does that too is it's being boring. It's not doing anything. You have your one coin that's supposed to pump. It's supposed to be magnificent. Elon Musk backs it up. All he has to do is tweet, and then it shoots up. Guys, Elon Musk has tweeted about it this whole time going down. He talked about it here. He talked about it before also. That's when I bought. I bought in like December of that year, and he was tweeting about it, I think, since October or November of 2020. But did I buy December? Was it December? I thought it was, but let me see. No, I must have bought in January. I must have bought in January. Yep. So I bought at the beginning of this month before the whole rally because I bought at 0.0078. That was where my first like real heavy buy for Doge went. But it's one of these things that people, whenever all your eyes are on something, if everybody expects one coin to do the best other than any other coin, it probably doesn't. And it's the coin that nobody gives credit to that they think is going to do the worst, but they all know about it that does the best, stuff like that. I think that this coin will bore people out, right? It's going to be moving sideways, moving slow and low, while all these other coins are popping off, having their day, and then people are going to make the sorry mistake of selling their Doge coins for these coins that have already popped off, and then by the end or at least halfway through the bull cycle, that's when Dogecoin is going to start to really take off. 6 to 8 months after the halving, as we've seen historically, is when Dogecoin would take off. 6 months to 8 months would be October to December of next year that Dogecoin really takes off. So take solace in knowing you have a whole year to accumulate Dogecoin. Now, if I was me, and I am me, my opinion, this is not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but my opinion would be this. Take that as like a story. You know the end. You know how it's written. You know what's coming on the next page. You know what the next chapter is going to look like. There's going to be coins that pump before Dogecoin. There are going to be a lot of coins, most of the market, that's going to move up while Dogecoin chills and does its thing. So if you invest in other coins and they pop off and you take profits, what's a good thing to move into that hasn't popped off yet? Dogecoin, right? Maybe you can't accumulate. Maybe you've put all your money into all these other cryptos, all these other stocks, and you're just waiting. You're sitting waiting. Well, if one of them pulls a 100x by the time Dogecoin is still sitting at 6 cents, take some chips off the table. Circulate your money. Move it around. Put it into the thing that has yet to pop off. You are going to do stupendous things with that. That's what I keep telling myself. Because again, it's not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion. I do think that might be a really good idea, and it sounds easier than it is. It definitely sounds easier than it is because you could sell something that has run up. It did 100x for you already. Dogecoin's still sitting at a 6 cent price. You sell it, and then now next thing you know, it did 150x. You could have caught 150x, but instead you caught 100x. And you're buying this coin that, if anything, it moved down or it's just moved sideways. It isn't doing anything. Then you're kind of convicted and conflicted, and you're like, oh man, maybe I should sell my Doge and buy this thing. It keeps running up. Don't do that. Make your decisions. Make your decisions from like a point of emotionless kind of being. I'm not talking properly here. Make your decisions from an emotionless state of mind, and then from there, execute it. Have a game plan. Stick with it. If things change in your game plan, you should have things like that would look like, if this happens, then I have to change my game plan. Like if Dogecoin were, sad to say, but if Dogecoin were to go like below 1 cent, that's when I would have to change my game plan because I don't think it's going to go below 1 cent. I don't think it's even going to go anywhere near there. But something like this, maybe it's even below 2 cents, then I would have to change my game plan. Something like that. I don't know. That might not be drawn accurately. I feel like I'm just rambling right now, but what I'm really trying to say, guys, is it might be a good idea to hold off on investing in Dogecoin. I personally love Dogecoin. I want to buy some right now, but I'm waiting for it to go lower. I do think that it goes lower. And then from there, we can talk about stupendous things to the upside. I do think that it's going to achieve a price that's above $3 by the end of this cycle. I really do. I really like. People are talking about it. Doge to $1, Doge to $2. Like I think it's going to go above $3. It might even go above $4, you guys. And I know that sounds insane, because especially if we look at the market cap, right? I don't normally give the go-ahead on market caps like this, but if we look at Dogecoin, it's number 10. The highest coin that we've talked about this whole time in market cap valuation, $8.658 billion, okay? It's a lot of money. A lot of money. And it is inflationary, but it's inflationary at a fixed rate, right? There's only like 5, how many Dogecoins is it? How many Dogecoins are minted every year? Around 10,000 every minute, 5 billion per year. A little bit more than 5 billion. It's less than 5.5, but it's more than 5. Let's call it 5.3. 5.3 billion. Okay, so 5.3 billion every year. The total supply is 141 billion. So that's less than 5%, right? That's less than 2.5%, or it's about 2.5%, less than 3%, less than 3% of its supply being inflated every year at the moment. As time goes on, it's still only going to be pumping. It's going to have an inflationary rate of like over 5 billion coins a year. But as there's more coins in circulation, that percentage is going to get lower. So it's inflationary, sure, but it's inflationary at a deflationary rate. It's max supply, it's total supply, like it's all diluted. We know what we're getting with Dogecoin, right? It was made as a joke, but it's got some solid software, solid code behind it, and it's actually, like, it went from a joke to being a kind of serious thing, like, really quick. But I forget where I was going with that. But I do think that Dogecoin has. All right, that's what I was doing. I was going to see what its market cap would be if we went from here to like $4, right? $4 bills, something like that. 392, whatever. 6,281. So let's see. Calculator, Google calculator. So that would be a 63x. Let's call it a 64x. It's almost a 64x. So 64 times 8.7. Let's just say 8.7. 8.7 equals $556 billion. Okay, so because these are in billions, right? 8.7. That's what I was doing it off of 8.7 there. And, I added to the market cap to account kind of like for inflation too, but maybe it goes to like $560 billion, whatever, something like that. By the time it reaches a price of $4, inflation included. That, by the way, if this is the current low, which I don't think it is, but if it is, that puts us right around the 1618, which we have broken the 1618 every single cycle. From this high here to this low here, broken the 1618. Just barely, but you broke it. Top here, bottom here to the next cycle's low. You broke the 1618. I'm going to delete this fib actually over here so you can see it. You actually went all the way up to the 1272, or the 2272, I'm sorry. I don't think that you're going to do that on this time. I don't think you're going to see the 2272. That'd be $18. That'd be insane. You're talking about a $1 trillion market cap. Probably a multi-trillion-dollar market cap, actually. That'd be just crazy. I don't think that's going to happen. At least not this cycle. Maybe a lot of cycles down the line. But if it remains relevant and it doesn't get screwed over. But I think Doge is solid, man. I think it's too big right now to fail. Like it's stood the test of time. It hasn't had any major issues. The owner, the guy that founded Dogecoin, made it as a joke, and he sold all of his coins. Like it's got the perfect story, man. It really does. Like for a decentralized asset in crypto, it's cheap. It's only 6 cents to buy, and it's still at a really high place. It's got higher lows throughout its whole thing, higher highs throughout its whole thing. It can go a lot lower and still maintain these higher lows. So that's why I'm not crazy to buy right now. And Dogecoin again has this consistent kind of attitude of being boring while the rest of the market's doing its thing, and then it shows up in the fourth quarter at the end of the bull market. It shows up over halfway through, actually, normally 6 to 10 months after the halving. That's when things get exciting. We're nowhere near that yet, right? It's October now. November, December, January, February, March. Let's say the halving happens in March. That's still 5 months away. That's almost half a year. If it happens in April, that's a half year away from where we are now. Let alone it takes 6 to 8 months for Dogecoin to do its thing after the halving. So if you want to catch it at a cheaper price, I'm not saying that like 6 to 8 months from now it won't be at a higher price. Sure, it might be. But if you want to catch it at its absolute low, if that's your goal, cool. Just be prepared to sit on it while other things are probably taking off. That's my opinion on Dogecoin, honestly. I watched a guy do some math on Doge, and he said that the current prices compared to wallets that hold Doge that are there is only enough supply and circulation for each wallet to have $1,700. $1,700. So do some math on Doge. He said that the current prices compared to wallets that hold Doge. So basically you're saying like if you held $1,700 worth of Dogecoin, like, or like if you hold more than that, then like you've got right? Like if it'd be like me saying like there's not enough bitcoins in the world for millionaires to own. Like if every millionaire today wanted to buy one bitcoin, they couldn't even buy a half. You're telling me that if every $1,700 heir out there wanted to buy $1,700 worth of Dogecoin, that they couldn't even do that. Probably, I think is like as far as like circulating supply goes. Is that what I'm understanding? I don't know. That's an interesting number. That's definitely an interesting number. That would mean that there's scarcity. If I'm correct in assuming that. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. I don't know, but I'm trying to think here what to do with that. Yeah, only enough for each wallet to have 1,700 worth. Yeah, okay. So that's crazy. So if you own more than 1,700, then you're in the 1,700 worth, not 1,700 Doge, $1,700 worth, right? Is what I'm assuming. So if you own more than that, then you have like a dominant or a more significant amount of the supply. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just like saying, I forget what it is. Would that mean? Yeah, something like that. I'm trying to think of something to make sense out of that. Because for me, the way that I think about it, I'm comparing it to this because I feel like I'm close to this. It's like the same line of thinking. If every millionaire today wanted to buy one Bitcoin, they couldn't even buy half. That would imply that half of a Bitcoin will inevitably be worth more than $1 million, right? Like just like in that kind of state of thought. I don't think one Dogecoin though is going to be worth $1,700 necessarily though, right? Right. 1,700, and how much would 1,700 get you right now? It'd get you a lot. Man, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to make of that. It sounds good. It sounds good, but I got my head in a pretzel, Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do. That is interesting. It's definitely interesting. I think to me that means it's got like a scarcity of supply, which is fine. You know, it's a very popular coin, and the thing is too with crypto, it's kind of like a niche market, right? So exchanges like Robinhood, Binance, Coinbase, they hold a lot of those coins, and it's centralized to a certain degree, but it's centralized for a decentralized purpose. It's centralized for the purpose of selling it to their clients. So they as an entity hold it, but you know, it might be under one wallet or a few wallets that they have spread out, but those might be dispersed amongst a bunch of different people on those exchanges too. So like everybody was saying, oh, Robinhood has all the Dogecoin. They got the biggest wallet for it in the last cycle. And it's like, well, no, Robinhood doesn't. It's not just Robinhood. It's all the people using Dogecoin on Robinhood or buying Dogecoin on Robinhood. You know, they're the custodian. And you know, I know that in crypto that's not a good like way to be. A lot of people want custodial free kind of mechanisms to transact their stuff. But let's be fair, it's a custodian. You know, it can still be decentralized even from a centralized point. I don't know, maybe it is centralized, but I just feel like it is more decentralized than the average crypto is out there. Because again, the owner, the founder, the person that made this thing, he literally sold all of his coins. It was a joke coin. People didn't take it seriously. They started to back here. You know, there were people who like were really about it back here, and they were just crazy people. I think the people who bought around the time Elon Musk did, you know, they might have caught on to that craziness, and now I don't know. I'm crazy, man. I'm crazy for Dogecoin. I definitely think that it could go again to $4. That kind of market cap would be 500. Let's say $560 billion. A $560 billion market cap is huge. It's humongous. But a coin that's been around since 2013 that Mark Cuban, Elon Musk, Vlad Tenev, all three of them are multi-billionaires. They all publicly vouch for Dogecoin. There's talks about Dogecoin being implemented on X. Dogecoin, by the way, other than like Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Bitcoin Cash, it's one of the only cryptos that you can use to like actually buy real world goods. Like people have been able to do that with Dogecoin before. It's never had a problem. It's never shut down for a day. It never got overloaded. Like none of those things that have happened with some of the new cryptos. You know, like it's just been a joke coin that turned out to be something more serious. People mine it, people participate in it, you know, and it stood the test of time. Multiple cycles having higher lows and higher highs. Here, even if it dropped all the way down below 1 cent, you're still having higher lows. So this thing, I just think it's going to have an immense rally. I think it's going to shock the world again. A lot of people are going to say that this was a one-off and that it won't do it again. I do think that it will. I do think that it will. It's going to have a move that takes it above its previous all-time highs. And, you know, if we look at this here, I'm just going on forever, man. I love Dogecoin. If you guys can't tell, I love Dogecoin. From a logarithmic standpoint, its all-time high in market cap was, come on now, if I can get it. No, that's not it. Let me see. Maybe I have to be a little bit more specific here. Let's get it on the candles, maybe. Can I not do candles? I thought I could do candles. Is that not? They don't let me do candles. I thought I was able to. Huh. Maybe they don't. Trading view. Market cap. It doesn't say. That's okay. Whatever. Maybe I can find it on trading view. But what I'm trying to find right now is this. 88. It basically, that's not its all-time, that's its closing high, but its all-time high in market cap was like $93 billion. I think it has a date with destiny to break that $100 billion market cap, and I think once it does, it's not going to stop there. So once it does, to reach that same kind of market cap now, to reach $100 billion, that'd basically be at its previous all-time high. I don't think it's going to stop there, you guys. I think that this whole notion that this was a one-off is going to go away as we get closer. People are going to start talking about it going to $1, and it won't stop there. I think that it really, truthfully does have a strong potential of seeing prices above $2, let alone even above $3, $4. It could be worth. It could even go to these deeper extensions at $6 to $8. And I know that sounds crazy. I know how crazy that sounds. Maybe not to $8. But $6, something like that, these deeper extensions, you know, that it can be worth under $1 trillion, but over $500 billion in market cap valuation. It's definitely possible. And I think right now people think it's crazy, and maybe it is crazy, maybe it doesn't do that, but you know, it's one of the, it might be the only coin in the top 20 that is multi-100xable, right, from here. What would or 100x from 6 cents would be $6. So maybe not multi-100xable. 100xable. Might be the only coin in the top 20 that is 100xable. Something like that. Ooh, Bitcoin Cash is 100xable too, though. Okay, Bitcoin Cash and Dogecoin. We'll say that then. Shiba maybe 2. Chainlink is 2. Okay, so it's one in a handful. You know, maybe not all of them do that, but I do think Dogecoin, let's say the top 10, is the only one that is 100xable. That's what I'll say. I keep redacting all my words there, but let's see. 100, yeah, bro, straight up. I think it's going to do great things. I'm really excited about Dogecoin, you guys, and what I'm excited most about it, I want to go over the game plan, at least my game plan with it again, is all these cryptos, man, everything, whether you're interested in Blue Zell, you're interested in BSV, you're interested in Caspa, TBR, whatever, you know, name your random shit coin. Jesus coin itself might do a multi-100x before Dogecoin even makes a move. You best believe that if by the time I make 100x on Jesus coin, that Dogecoin still hasn't moved, I'm going to take some chips off the table and put it into Dogecoin. I guess 100x off of $200, that'd only be $20,000. So you still make some money off of that. That'd be nice, but I'd probably let it run with Jesus coin even after 100x, honestly, just because. But I might take some chips off and then put it in there. And that's the whole point I'm trying to say. Compound, Blue Zell, Mana, Jesus coin, you know, the coins that I'm, Bitcoin Cash, the coins that I'm invested in personally and want to continue to invest in, as they move up while Dogecoin is doing its thing and just being lazy, I'm going to take some chips off the table, like about halfway through the bull cycle, and then put them in Dogecoin and let it do its thing and just further grow that money. Even if it doesn't achieve new all-time highs and we get some kind of like lower top scenario, if it goes below this low, I mean, let's say that we buy around this price, right? You know, that's still a 10x or like a 12x all the way up to its previous all-time high. That's still like a 6x or something. Like, you know, you're still going to make money off of this thing, but I think that it's got way higher prices in store for it by the end of this cycle. So that's really all I have to say on Dogecoin. I'm sorry if I like rambled or droned on there for a second. But that's what I got, man. Oh, bro, yeah, Harry Potter, Sonic Obama Inu or whatever. What is it, man? It's Bitcoin, right? That's its ticker is Bitcoin, but they wouldn't let that happen. This thing, man. This thing's stupid. It's so dumb, man. But again, it's one of those coins, man. Whenever I first heard about it, it was like down over here. One of my buddies was talking to me about it, and we all made fun of him. And then it went up here, like, okay, whatever. And it just kept going. I'm going to say it again, man. It has so much disbelief. People know about it. Maybe not a lot of people know about this coin right now, but people know about it. And it has disbelief, and that disbelief is giving it all the momentum it needs to go up. Watch it go up from here, man. I mean, it's done, let's see, since June 11th of this year, from low to high, it had a growth of, it had a 52% or 52x growth, right? It's insane. It's absolutely insane. While all of crypto's kind of been shitting the bed, it's done its thing. Now, to be fair, from this relative high to its low, it dropped 78% in a very, very short amount of time. So big swings with this thing. It's only traded on DEXs. You're going to have a hell of a time with liquidity, but maybe not. There's a lot of volume there too. I've not heard of PP Coin. Never heard of PP Coin, but that's a new one for me. Watch Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, Inu do ridiculous things. Like, watch it, because it has a ridiculous name. It's got a ridiculous, like, if you look at the coin itself, like the mascot, I've seen the guy, like, he's like all painted up, man. Ridiculous. Obama, Pac-Man, you know, this is a different one. Look at that, and it's already ranked. Let's see, Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10 Inu, Bitcoin. That's this one, right? Bitcoin. We don't know what the market cap is. We don't know what the circulating supply is. We know what the total supply is. There are no tokenomics available. It's probably a scam. It'll probably get rug pulled at some point, but maybe it does really well. Who knows? I don't think it does. But if you guys want to throw a little bit of play money in there, it could do well for you. You know, it really could do well for you. Something like this. What's it worth? What's it? It doesn't say what its market cap or what it's valued at. I don't know. Fully diluted valuation would be 2 million. I don't know, man. I'm not putting my money in it, but I love crypto, man, and I would love to see this thing just do ridiculous things. It's at 8 cents right now. Watch it go up to like $80 or $8,000 or something like that. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe it just shits the bed from here and proves to be the scam that it is. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it personally, but it can do all those great things without me. That's for sure. What's up, Mr. Outlaws? How you doing? Hell yeah, man. Oh, we could talk about Jesus a little bit. I don't want to talk about Jesus Coin too much because I want to come on the stream later. By the way, what time is that? If it's 2 o'clock for me here, it's 2:20 for me here. What time would that be? Because I think you said, what time did you say? It was like 7 o'clock or what? What was it? Hell yeah, bro. Yeah, it's gonna be epic. I'm definitely excited for that, man. Let's see, Jesus USDT. Moving up a little bit today. Not, or I guess it's moving down. It's down 9%. I think I'm down. I think where I bought it was at like 7015. Now it's at 145. So I've lost like $4 or something like that. But 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. So that'll be like 8 o'clock. Yeah, okay. That was the same time as the one last week. So yeah, 8 o'clock. That makes sense. 8 o'clock it is, bro. I'll definitely be able to make that today for sure. That'll be perfect timing, actually. So, yeah, looking forward to it, man. Send me the link in the Discord whenever it's time for that. Be happy to join. We're gonna be talking about Jesus Coin later, you guys, with my man Cannabis Outlaws. We're gonna be doing, what is it? Is it Tribunal Tuesdays or Testimonial Tuesdays? Hell yeah, man. I'm pumped too. So if you guys want to join us later, we're gonna be talking about that as well. I know. Okay, hell yeah, cool. Cool. I know that some of you just got here, Cannabis Outlaws, but we are wrapping this up. My daughter did just wake up, and we're going to go to the park right now and have a little family day together. But just looking at Jesus Coin without saying too much stuff that I want to say later, you know, I do think that it's doing things differently than it's done in quite some time. Differently, but still similarly, right? You're moving up like this, just like last time where I thought we were bottoming here. You still had wicks to the downside and you came up. I think you're going to get a lot of volatility up and down, but slowly crawl your way up. And then when it's go time, man, great things probably for this thing. I think that it's going to have a hell of a bull market for sure. And I'm excited for December. I'm really excited for December, but I'm not going to say too much. So with that, I leave you guys talking about Jesus. What a good way to end the video. If you guys have any questions or requests, feel free to leave them in the Discord. You know, I'm always checking in. I might not always be talking, but I do check in on the Discord a lot. And yeah, man, thank you guys all for coming. I really appreciate everybody here. You guys are the shit. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.